right, with the Desmond and Dover, your Therapy Thursday, it gives us a chance to talk it out with you if you got a problem. Anything you got, Meredith M.D. is here to serve you.
Yes, Miss Double D.
Awesome.
Okay.
Can I not say that?
We're just not used to hearing it yet. But yes, Meredith,
Okay.
the doctor is Double D
session.
doctor. And Rich, your emotional support animal, is here.
Professional cuddler as well.
Also, your OrlanOGByn is here just in case the stirrups come into play. All right. We have calls and texts coming in here. 888-429-0941 is the number. Any question is fair game.
Yeah, out of the 727, I'm going to keep this anonymous. I've been with my partner for 2 years, and our sex drives are completely different. I love her, and we have a very healthy relationship. None of that toxic stuff. I have a very high sex drive, and she does not. I struggle with feeling like my needs are not met, or like she does not feel a sexual attraction to me, even though she says that she does. Is it worth losing the relationship, or should the benefits of all the other positive things outweigh the difference in sex drives?
I'm going to tap into another doctor for this answer because I heard Dr. Umar say this, and it was probably one of the smartest things I've heard him say.
Okay.
He said, when we go out and we date people, we go have sex with people who aren't our person. And those people haven't done anything to become your person. They're not great people, but they're great at sex. And so when you meet your person might be everything you need, but not be perfect at sex. Mm-hmm. And so we've basically scrimmaged against all these great sexual people.
Yeah.
And then when we get to the person who we are meant to have, they don't have the skills, and we compare them to the people we've been scrimmaging against.
Who are trash.
So if we wait, and I know we're not, but in essence, if you're trying to be like in a perfect situation, if you wait to do those things with a special person that you have a bond with, then you can grow with them and learn with them, as opposed to spending all your best humpage out here in the streets. And when you get over in here, now you mad that she can't keep up.
Right.
Or now you mad he can't keep up because you got D'd down by some rando. So save it for the good people. Save it for the people who are your person, whether it's, if you're being biblical or whether you're just being moral or whatever. But just don't be out here giving away your good humps.
I would say spice up your sex life. Why don't you go to a sex store and go pick up some fun stuff for the bedroom and see what happens? Why don't you add some spice to your life a little bit? There's nothing wrong with giving her some gifts.
If you're not good at it, adding stuff might be an intimidation. So just spend some time with you and her and explore, learn each other. Take your time, though, and realize that you're not going to hit the ground running like you would with some other people who just got more skills.
Yeah. All I'm saying is edible underwear.
In this situation, all I was going to say, you say a lot about me and I think you should focus on her and ask her what she likes and hone into the things that she likes and what turns her on. And maybe that might switch it up a little bit and get that power turned on.
There you go.
All right. I got one from 727. I had a past relationship with a girl that didn't work out. We were young and it just didn't end well. We were on different paths. We still talk occasionally. We also attend the same church. I try to invite her out to dinner or just go out and enjoy each other's company. However, she never commits to actually spending time with me. Should I keep trying, or is she just playing hard to get?
No, she don't like you. I've done this before in the past. She likes either your friendship or she likes your attention that you give her, or the compliments.
But she's not feeling it.
She don't want to mess with you.
And
that's okay.
That's okay. That's what I was going to say. That's okay.
Yeah.
If somebody made a decision that you're not that, type for them, you could still be friends.
Yeah, there's millions of other
there's
people.
nothing worse than when people say no to your offering or no to your advance, and then you just immediately say, well, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, everybody got to love you?
Yeah, just think about like when you're interested in somebody and they ask you to go out, I always go back to this one phrase: if they wanted to, they would. So if she's saying no, it's because she's telling you she ain't feeling you, bro.
This says, out of the 813, my mom and dad divorced out of nowhere, and months later, my wife and I bump into my mother at Water Street with some guy. I'm a grown man, but I felt very angry, almost like I was a kid. My dad doesn't want to talk about it, but he keeps trying to... He doesn't want to talk about it, but he keeps trying to get her back. My wife looked at what my mom had on at that dinner and realized that my mom is gone. Do I need to keep trying to talk to my dad about it, or just leave it, let it be?
It's none of your business now. Your parents are not perfect. They're not superheroes like we grew up thinking and imagining, and that's okay. But their relationship is honestly none of your business. You can check in, emotionally, how you doing, Dad? How you doing, Mom? I love you both, separately. I loved you guys together, but your mom's off living her own life and exploring and doing her own thing. You're not going to stop her. You can't
If
control
your dad
people.
is pining over your mom and you see him about to hit a brick,
Yeah.
you wouldn't look out for you. I mean, I know the relationship you got with your pops.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hit your pops up and be like, "Hey, Dad, listen, let's just focus on you and blah blah blah." Because mom's outside. I saw her.
Right. Take care of
Mom's
him
having a good
emotionally.
time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why not just let him know? At least put him up on it. You ain't got to tell him specifics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be worried about Mom. I think Mom's out doing her thing. Like, I think we would owe that to your parents to at least say something.
You should be there for your dad, not just as, the child, but, as a friend too, because he probably needs that, but also understand that your mother's an adult and she has the right to do that.
Well, the worst thing ever, I was told this before, the worst thing is for a kid to try and see their parent as an adult, as a person.
It's hard.
Like,
that
because you
adjustment.
see them as mom and dad, and
Yep.
that's it. You're supposed to be mom and dad role, and you mess around and bump into your mama at the club.
Yeah. Woo.
And you're like, oh, damn, my mama a lady.
This is a little different.
My mama
than
outside.
expected.
Mama twerking.
mama, steer away from that hot tub.
Oh my
Stop it, please.
Not the hot tub.
Not the hot tub, mama.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's see here. We got
I got one out of the 727. It says, every single date I seem to go on, I'm getting hat-fished by these guys, even on their profiles. The second they take off their hat, they're either bald or they're balding, and I don't want to be with somebody like that. I'm getting hat-fished. How can I avoid this?
I don't know where age you're at, but you have to understand that that's just a natural course of life. The people are gonna thin, lose hair, gray hair, whatever it is. If that is something that is bothering you that much, I think you're being a little too picky. But maybe find some guys on dating apps that have pictures with hair.
Can you imagine if that was like her first thing on her profile? Must have full
hair.
head hair.
I think you're being a little too picky. But if that's really that important to you, then you need to look in places where guys aren't wearing hats or meet
Well,
these
what do you
guys.
mean? Where places the guys?
Guys,
are wearing
y'all both
hats?
are wearing hats.
Like we're both wearing hats right now.
I know, but
It's a casual thing.
But if I wanted to, if somebody was like, "Hey, do you have hair?" I'll be like, "Yeah." Here,
No,
look at my
absolutely.
hair."
I mean, I can whip it out.
Exactly.
Whip it out usually means something else, but I guess yeah.
Whip out your hair.
That's what you do. You put that on your subject line on whatever your profile page is. It's like, I just want you to whip it out. You'll get
Yeah.
a bunch of guys that will reach out to you, and then
God.
you explain to them the pervs you get rid of, and you're like, I'm not asking you to whip that out. I'm asking you to whip that hat off and whip out your hair.
There you
If
go.
I can see that, then I can work with you. All right.
at you.
888-429-0941. Therapy Thursday is here. Whatever question you got, we'll dance around it and try and find our way towards an answer after Scissor. Let's go. All right, 888-429-0941. Therapy Thursday. Getting in. Let's see what we got.
Oh, I got one that just came in from, we'll say it's from T. My ex-girlfriend of years and years broke up less than a year ago and just had a baby and a new relationship, but will not leave me alone. I get texts like, I can't stop comparing you to my new man, to you. I would have shut it down, but she keeps reaching out. What do I do?
Block her.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you don't want to be that type, because you're going to be tempted. Morally block her. If you on the fence, just know it's coming.
Yeah.
Because that precursor means that it's coming.
He's
like
interested.
you know what I'm saying? It's if you leave it to chance, you're gonna end up in somebody's. Ooh, if you leave it to chance, you're gonna end up in her pants. It's true. Poetry from the freak show.
From your freak show.
From your freak show.
I say just block her, man. If she's in a relationship,
I
she
agree.
got a baby, like that's just gonna be a messy situation. And if she's texting you while she's with her man like that, what do you think what she's gonna do if she was with you?
I mean, there's some connection there that people have. It's just, there's an energy there. I didn't know this, but somebody said when you had do the hibbity dibbity with some people, you exchange energy.
Yeah.
And I've always thought it was some kind of fluke or whatever. But they say like it's shown that ladies, their DNA changes because of the way sex happens.
Okay.
So that connection is
Transfer
real.
chemicals.
It's not even it's energy. It's your balance of what you have in your body because you're now been intruded by some other person. That's that connection that's there. So sometimes you got to cut it off. Morally cut it off. If you want to stay in the mix, just know you're going to end up way deeper than where you want to be.
Yeah, I would say just leave it there in the past.
This one out of the 407. I'm 30 years old and I have yet to do the deed. Every time I try to date a girl and I say something,
Sex?
The deed.
I'm guessing.
Wow.
I'm guessing.
And they're 30?
And they're 30.
Wow. Good for you.
Look at all of us whores. We're just shocked. Everybody's like, wow.
Every time I try to go out on dates and I bring it up, it seems like the girl gets immediately turned off.
That's a dude?
Yes, this is a dude.
Oh.
I'm guessing. I'm not trying to assume gender, but that's what I'm guessing.
Okay.
They want to know, should I keep on telling them or should I keep on telling them?
This would be a turnoff for me. So,
Be honest.
I wouldn't. It's not something you need to bring up like on the first date or anything like that. But I think eventually that needs to be known. Because a lot of people there's a couple of different ways. Some women would be like, oh, I want to make sure I handle this or I show him what I can do or I take that V card from him. I think it's definitely something that needs to be brought up.
I believe you should be proud of it and don't bring it up on day one because that makes it creepy and weird.
Yeah.
But when the conversation happens, like body counts and stuff like that, be proud. Stand up, like, chest up, head up, be like, honestly, I haven't done it yet. And when they ask you, don't make it weird. Just be like, I really haven't found anybody that I thought deserved to be that person yet, and I really take it seriously. I think you'll bump into more women that are respected, but there will be some women who will run because the same way dudes run when they hear V card, there's about 5 or 6 of them that get excited about it, but most dudes run away because they know the cling factor that comes with it.
Yeah.
But there are some ladies out there that appreciate the fact that you ain't out here just wang banging it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was going to say, I'm not sure in the way that you're bringing it up, but if you're making this like a main factor of why you're dating a certain person, like, don't make it like that. Put a mystique behind it. Be like, you know what? I haven't done it yet because I'm waiting for the right person or I'm waiting for Mrs. Right. You know what I mean? Not like, hey, I'm trying to get this done. Because then a lot of females will look at that and just be like, oh, this guy's just trying to get
This dude ain't out here wang banging it, so I like him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
We got one out of the 813 just came in. I lost a new man because he decided to floss his teeth at the restaurant table. I asked him to hold off, but he had a big attitude about it, like it was my problem. Am I wrong for dumping him? I really liked him a lot.
That's etiquette. You can train somebody to be better at etiquette. We had an etiquette coach here for a while that taught us some stuff. And that's my family. So I really think that, you can work with somebody who's worthwhile. If you see other stuff that they have in them and you can teach them and they're teachable. Mm-hmm. Keep them.
Yeah, somebody flossing at the table, though, that's rude as hell.
But some people have been raised that way.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Go to the bathroom, sir.
That's
There's a restroom for privacy.
if you got something in your teeth, don't take the menu and
Ew,
do all of
and
that.
it flicks out that
but I've
old
seen
stuff.
people do that though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people have been raised where they like, hey, you got to. They don't ask for a toothpick. They ask for like a matchbook.
Yeah.
Hey, you got an
Let me get a
old
piece
player.
of cardboard.
That's an old player right
Sucking
there.
the tooth like
hey, who got a book of magic? Asking people at the other table, you got a book of magic?
You got a magazine on you?
Let me see your credit card for a second. Let me get this right here.
Yeah, I mean, if this person is really somebody that you see yourself in a future with, then yeah, you could work with them on it. But
how many of these do I have to deal with?
If you got the ick though, like the ick is hard to get past once you get that. And if somebody's doing that at the table, I could kind of understand that.
We on the baby hunt here out of the 813. It says, I just found out I'm pregnant.
Oh, congrats.
I'm 34 years old. My husband and I already have 4 children, and he's 40. We have a 13 and 15-year-old who are going to be devastated. Any tips on how to tell them? I don't understand. Y'all are still married. Mm-hmm. Just the fact that another kid's coming into the house.
That's a big deal. You're adding a 5th kid. They probably weren't.
The 13 and the 15-year-old are going to be devastated.
Because it sounds like she wasn't prepared to have another kid at all.
Man,
She's probably been saying to the family, like, oh, yeah, we're done. We're moving on. Like, you're teens. I don't want to start over. But then she just found out. It's a lot for a family to handle. I can totally imagine. I would do like a little fun sit down with your hubby first. And just break the news to him privately. I wouldn't do it.
Let
in
him go in the closet and cry before you tell the rest of the family. He's like, we got another mouth to feed. Yeah, I swear to God, I'm getting fixed.
Yeah.
All right, but no,
You've
I mean,
been
but
here
I don't. If you think the 13 and 15-year-old to be devastated, that's only gonna last for a couple of cups of coffee.
Right.
Like when that kid turns 15, when they're 15 and 17, they're gonna love having that younger sibling and be all over it and be able to help you.
Yeah.
Because like you went through 4 kids, and those 4 kids probably were all on your shoulders. Now you got extra help. Tap them in. Be like, hey, look here, we ain't baby
Tag,
duty.
you're
You're it. Me and Daddy going out. Y'all don't burn down the house. You got help now.
Guess what? Y'all got jobs. Y'all a babysitter.
I would tell y'all it's a plain fact that the last one born usually is the one raised by siblings.
Yeah.
So you put a lot of time and effort into them first kids, and those first kids probably doctors, lawyers, or whatever. And these little barber college kids that you have like 5th and 6th.
Aren't you the baby, Orlando?
I am. And you see, I'm out here being a DJ. I ain't got nothing. Everybody else got all these stuff they got. I ain't got nothing. I'm just a DJ. All right.
How the family raised you.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
All right, listen, Therapy Thursday is a wrap. We got your 9 a.m. classic kickoff on the way. You know what we do. It is Friday Light.
Orlando and the Freak Show.
Come on in.
Paris. Back to school is here, and none of you guys are ready. I know. I ain't ready either, but